This is the living room of my Airbnb. Looks kind of nice. The decor is quite interesting. If you look at this world map, it looks a little different than the US, doesn't it? So this is going to be the view. I come out here, I don't know if you can see it, but way in the background there's mountains. It's a little overcast today. But I am above a convenience store, and all around me is just like condo buildings and such. Here's the rest of the decor here. I think that little corner is really cute, actually. Beautiful setup. You can look at the lamps. Those are cute. At the moment, the outlet behind the TV is not working, so no one has been in here watching TV. It is a tropical country. This fan does not work. That's all right. They've got like little plants working on keeping those alive. Anyway, it's a hallway. Here's my room. We're gonna check that out. When we come in here, here's the corner where I film. And then there's like a little stool. I've taken this stool and I use it as a nightstand. Pardon the mess. Bed is not made, not even trying to do that. But there's like this little wall decor with macrame. There's a little mirror. How do you do? And the outlets are really interesting. You notice here that there's a light on. They can turn on and off their individual outlets. So that's really interesting. Here's a corner where I keep my stuff. It's kind of like a open wardrobe. That is what it is. This is how we store things in here. This is the clothing rack and then a couple shelves. These are the switches. This one's for the light. This one's for the AC. Then they have a mini split up there. This is, I believe, the only room in the Airbnb with AC. There's my room I just left. Now we're gonna go down the hall here. Got a little sign. I know it's dark. There is a hallway light. I don't want to really disturb all the other people here, so we're gonna do this briefly. They got like this little corner here for decor. It's kind of cute. We're gonna go to the kitchen now. We have other rooms here. There's other roommates. And then here is the kitchen, where we've got someone drying their clothes, the washer, and the laundry rules here. Then we have the sink. This machine that you see is a water filter. So it filters the water coming out of the faucet, and it either gives you hot enough water to make ramen noodles, cold enough water to drink, almost iced water temperature, which is fire. Dish rack, clearly we've been cooking. And then we have our little cooktop, which is induction. So that means, you know, if there's a pot on it, it works. If there's no pot on it, it doesn't work. Microwave, rice cooker. I believe there's an air fryer down here, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that. And here's the table, the wicker chairs, little decor in the corner. This is normally in the middle, but I like to move it out of the way so we can eat. Fridge, little accent wall here. And then this is going to the bathrooms. There's someone in the bathroom, so I am not gonna really show you it that much. However, here is one of the bathrooms on the wall. That's a hot water heater. It's on demand. And we have the toilet, a little drain in the floor, and that faucet. So I'll tell you what that faucet is in a second. But that is the Airbnb. Glass windows here. We keep all trash outside to prevent critters. In case you did not know, Malaysia has very large roaches, and Malaysia also has lizards. So lizards are in the house and they climb on the walls. Lizards, no problem. Roaches can't do it. So there you go. That's the tour. Hope you enjoyed that. I did want to mention a couple things. One of them is that the room price for this Airbnb was very inexpensive because in Malaysia they have something called a Malaysia ringgit, and it's a third of a dollar. So whatever, like $1 is like 3 times 1 Malaysian ringgit. So when I purchased this room, I learned from the housekeeper that it was overpriced because they would not charge Malaysian people the same amount that they charged me, but because I have the US dollar, so they were making money hand over fist. That's something to be aware of. So when you're getting accommodation in Malaysia, you don't necessarily have to think with a foreign mindset if you have a strong currency. Think in terms of the local currency when you look for prices. Another thing is my room, I believe, was $200+ for the month, the first month, and nearly $300 for the second month. So altogether, I spent maybe $600 for 2 months of accommodation. That is inexpensive for the United States where I'm from, but that is bank. Remember that times 3? That's like $1,800 in Malaysian currency. So think about that. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if you've ever been to Malaysia. Tell me what your travel experience is. And also, I have some things down below that you might find interesting. I have a politically spicy Etsy in the description box. Especially for US citizens, you will find this very, very funny. And I also have notebooks on Amazon. The cover says "Secretly a Thirst Trap." The back has a little kiss on the back. It's super cute. Check it out. And I'll see ya.